everybody, I'm Joe Payne with the Santa Maria Recreation and Parks Department, music instructor here, and I want to show you a little something about corridos. And corridos is a Mexican style of music, and one of the great things about being a music teacher is you really get to learn all different styles of music, and as a teacher you get to learn from your students. So here at the Abel Maldonado Youth Center, this is the media room which does music during regular times, not right now because we're still sheltering in place, of course. But I have a bunch of students who come in who they already come in with some guitar skills, and something they know how to play are corridos. And they use a few different chord voicings that they've shown me that I'm familiar with, and I have a lot of fun with because I can show them a scale that's based around that. And you might have heard the corrido style uses kind of a voicing of an E, which I'll show you close up in a moment, but sometimes this is used on other instruments like the bajo sexto, and so you can hear that kind of style. It's very distinct, very rhythmic, and a lot of fun to play. So we have a few different chord voicings we're working with, and basically that just means different ways to play the same chord on a guitar neck, okay? So a lot of people are familiar with an E chord like this, where you use this big full sound in the open strings, but there's other ways you can play an E chord too. You can play it all the way up here. It's going to be your middle finger on the 7th fret of the A string. That's the 2nd string from the lowest string. And this is really just a 3-note version of the E chord. And we use this alternating bass pattern with the middle finger. So let me show you what that looks like. So this starts with our middle finger on the 7th fret. You can see I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be the 3rd dot on most guitars. But so middle finger, 7th fret of the A string. And then the pointer finger goes on the 6th fret of the D string, the very next string. So you can hear. And then the pinky goes on the string after that one, the G string. And that's on the 9th fret. The next dot after the 7th fret. So it's really just these 3 notes. You can use your pinky to mute the next strings so you can't hear them if you hit them. And you can see I play this note and then the next 2 strings to play the rest of the chord. See that? And then you alternate your middle finger back and forth between the 7th fret of the A string and the E string. So that basic pattern is used in a lot of different traditional Mexican music like corridos, and so it's a lot of fun to work with, but it moves around. There's other chords involved. And the next one I'm going to show you is A. So this is similar to the open E chord. In fact, it's the same as starting on the D string, but we're just barring this up to the 5th fret. So it looks like this. It's going to look like this. Your ring finger is now on the 7th fret. Your middle finger's on the 6th fret. Then your pointer finger is going to flatten both strings on the 5th fret. And you can do the same alternating thing now with your ring finger and the A string. And then if you want your B shape, you really go up A sharp, B to the, so that now you're 2 frets higher. You're on the 9th fret, 8th fret, and you're flattening 2 7th fret notes for the B and the E string. So you want to practice moving between these 3 chords, these patterns. That's the B, back to E. Now, I talked about how there's a scale we can use with this pattern here. And really, the E chord is going to give you most of the pattern you need for the E major scale from this position. And it's kind of fun to play. You start with your middle finger, the same as the first note of that chord. You can hear. And so what it does is it uses each finger one after the other. And if you look, each finger is going to have its own fret, and they're going to take turns depending on which note we want to hear. So anytime in this pattern we have a 7th fret, that's going to be your middle finger. Anytime we have a 5th fret, it's your pointer right below it. Anytime we have the 8th fret, it's going to be the ring finger. Anytime we have a 9th fret, it's going to be the pinky. So again, we are going to base our scale pattern off of this chord. This note is E, and this note is E. The octave of E, you can hear it's low E, high E, right? So a scale is a pattern in between an octave. So we start with the middle finger here on the E note. That's the 7th fret of the A string. Then we're going to go up, we're going to skip a fret and go to our pinky on the 9th fret of the A string. The next note is the 6th fret of the D string, so we're moving to the next string now. You see how that works? Pointer finger on the 6th fret of the D string. Then middle finger again on the same string, the D, then pinky again. So you can see it's kind of the same pattern. This note's in the scale if we were to go down as well. So you can see how that works. Same pattern for these two strings. Now when we get to the G string, we go to the pointer finger again, but we're not going to use the middle finger this time. We're going to use the ring finger and then pinky, and we've played our scale. See how that works? So if you already know how to play corridos a bit, then now you have a scale that you can use while you're playing these chords, in between the chords. Your friend can play the chords and you can kind of mess around with the notes and see what you can come up with. But you can hear how if you just use it with the chords, you can get kind of a fun sound. Listen to this. So, thanks for watching, everybody. This is Joe Payne, music instructor with the City of Santa Maria Recreation and Parks Department. Just showing you a little technique where you can combine a couple chord shapes and play some fun music, in this case, corridos. So, stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next time.